And again, President Xi Jinping expected to take the stage and deliver his remarks shortly.
Your Excellency, President Xi Jinping of the People's Republic of China, Your Excellencies, heads of state, heads of government, and heads of international organizations, ministers, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, friends. On behalf of the Chinese government, I'd like to extend our warm welcome and sincere appreciation to the distinguished guests attending the Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation. In autumn 2013, President Xi Jinping proposed the Belt and Road Initiative, which has since been warmly received and supported by the international community. Thanks to the concerted efforts, the Belt and Road Initiative is advancing steadily. Guided by the principles of extensive consultation, joint contribution, and shared benefits, it is working to promote connectivity of policy, infrastructure, trade, finance, and among peoples. It has made positive contribution to the economic growth of the world and common development of various countries. Earlier this year, President Xi Jinping, when attending the World Economic Forum, announced that the Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation will be held, which is designed to discuss cooperation, build platform for cooperation, and share the benefit of cooperation, so that the Belt and Road Initiative will deliver greater benefits to people across the world. Today, representing 5 continents, over 100 countries, over 70 international organizations, and over 1,000 delegates are gathered in Beijing to offer their wisdom and input to the Belt and Road Initiative. Now, let's warmly welcome His Excellency President Xi Jinping to deliver his keynote speech. Distinguished heads of state and heads of government, ministers, heads of international organizations, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. In this lovely season of early summer, when every living thing is full of energy, I wish to welcome all of you, distinguished guests representing over 100 countries, to attend this important forum on the Belt and Road Initiative held in Beijing. This is indeed a gathering of great minds. In the coming 2 days, I hope that by engaging in full discussion of exchange of views, we will contribute to pursuing the Belt and Road Initiative, a project of the century, so that it will bring benefit to people across the world. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, over 2,000 years ago, our ancestors, trekking across vast steppes and deserts, opened the transcontinental passage connecting Asia, Europe, and Africa, known today as the Silk Road. Our ancestors, navigating rough waters, created sea routes linking the East with the West, namely the maritime Silk Road. These ancient Silk routes opened windows of friendly exchanges among nations, adding a splendid chapter to the history of human progress. The 1,000-year-old gilded bronze silkworm displayed at China's Shanxi History Museum and the Belidong shipwreck discovered in Indonesia bear witness to this exciting period of history. Spanning thousands of miles and thousands of years, the ancient Silk routes embodied the spirit of peace and cooperation, openness and inclusiveness, mutual learning, and mutual benefit. The Silk Road spirit has become a great heritage of human civilization. Peace and cooperation. In China's Han Dynasty, around 140 BC, Zhang Qian, a royal emissary, left Chang'an, capital of the Han Dynasty. He traveled westward on a mission of peace and opened an overland route linking the East and the West, a daring undertaking which came to be known as Zhang Qian's journey to the western regions. Centuries later, in the years of Tang, Song, and Yuan dynasties, such routes, both over land and sea, had boomed. Great adventurers, including Du Huan of China, Marco Polo of Italy, and Ibn Battuta of Morocco, left their footprints along these ancient routes. In the early 15th century, Zheng He, the famous Chinese navigator in the Ming Dynasty, made 7 voyages to the western seas, a feat which is still remembered today. These pioneers won their place in history not as conquerors with warships, guns, or swords. Rather, they are remembered as friendly emissaries leading camel caravans and sailing treasure-loaded ships. Generation after generation, the Silk Road's travelers have built a bridge for peace and for East-West cooperation. Openness and inclusiveness. The ancient Silk Road spanned the valleys of the Nile, the Tigris and Euphrates, the Indus and Ganges, and the Yellow and Yangtze rivers. They connected the birthplaces of the Egyptian, Babylonian, Indian, and Chinese civilizations. They connected the lands of Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam, as well as homes of people of different nationalities and races. These routes enabled people of various civilizations, religions, and race to interact with and embrace each other with open mind. In the course of exchange, they fostered a spirit of mutual respect and engaged in a common endeavor to pursue prosperity. Today, ancient cities of Jiuquan, Dunhuang, Tulufan, Samarkand, Baghdad, and Constantinople, and ancient seaports of Ningbo, Quanzhou, Guangzhou, Beihai, Colombo, Jeddah, and Alexandria are standing as the living monuments to these past interactions. This part of history shows that civilization thrives with openness and nations prosper through exchange. Mutual learning. The ancient Silk routes were not for trade only. They boosted flow of knowledge as well. Through these routes, Chinese silk, porcelain, lacquer work, and ironware were shipped to the West, while pepper, flax, spices, grape, and pomegranate entered China. Through these routes, Buddhism, Islam, and Arab astronomy, calendar, and medicine found their way to China, while China's 4 great inventions and silkworm breeding spread to other parts of the world. More importantly, the exchange of goods and know-how spurred new ideas. For example, Buddhism originated in India. It blossomed in China and was enriched in Southeast Asia. Confucianism, which was born in China, gained appreciation by European thinkers such as Leibniz and Voltaire. Herein lies the appeal of mutual learning, mutual benefit. The ancient Silk routes witnessed the bustling scenes of visits and trade over land, and the bustling scenes of ships calling at ports. Along these major arteries of interaction, capital, technology, and people flowed freely, and goods, resources, and benefits were widely shared. The ancient prosperous cities of Almaty, Samarkand, and Chang'an, and ports of Sur and Guangzhou had thrived. So did the Roman Empire, as well as Parthia and Kushan kingdoms. The Han and Tang dynasties of China entered the Golden Age. The ancient Silk routes brought prosperity to these regions and boosted their development. History is our best teacher. The glory of the ancient Silk routes shows that geographical distance is not insurmountable. If we take the first courageous step toward each other, we can embark on a path leading to friendship, shared benefit, peace, harmony, and a better future. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, from the historical perspective, humankind has reached an age of great progress, great transformation, and profound changes. In this increasingly multipolar, economically globalized, digitized, and culturally diversified world, the trend toward peace and development becomes stronger, and reform and innovation are gaining momentum. Never have we seen such close interdependence among countries as today, such fervent desire of people for a better life, and never have we had so many means to prevail over difficulties. In terms of reality, we found ourselves in a world fraught with challenges. Global growth requires new drivers, Development needs to be more inclusive and balanced, and the gap between the rich and the poor needs to be narrowed. Hotspots in some regions are causing instability, and terrorism is rampant. Deficit in peace, development, and governance poses a daunting challenge to mankind. This is the issue that has always been on my mind. In the autumn of 2013, respectively in Kazakhstan and Indonesia, I proposed the building of the Silk Road Economic Belt and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road, which I call the Belt and Road Initiative. As a Chinese saying goes, peaches and plums do not speak, but they are so attractive that a path is formed below the trees. 4 years on, over 100 countries and international organizations have supported and got involved in this initiative. Important resolutions passed by the UN General Assembly and Security Council contain reference to it. Thanks to our efforts, the vision of the Belt and Road Initiative is becoming a reality and is bearing rich fruit. These 4 years have seen deepened policy connectivity. I've said on many occasions that the pursuit of the Belt and Road Initiative is not meant to reinvent the wheel. Rather, it aims to complement the development strategies of countries involved by leveraging their comparative strengths. We have enhanced coordination with the policy initiatives of relevant countries, such as the Eurasian Economic Union of Russia, the Master Plan on ASEAN Connectivity, the Bright Road Initiative of Kazakhstan, the Middle Corridor Initiative of Turkey, the Development Road Initiative of Mongolia, the Two Corridors, One Economic Circle Initiative of Vietnam, the Northern Powerhouse Initiative of the UK, and the Amber Road Initiative of Poland. We are also promoting complementarity between China's development plan and those of Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, Hungary, and other countries. China has signed cooperation agreements with over 40 countries and international organizations and carried out framework cooperation on production capacity with more than 30 countries. During this forum, a number of cooperation agreements on policy connectivity and action plans will be signed. We'll also launch Belt and Road Cooperation Initiative on trade connectivity, together with some 60 countries and international organizations. Such policy connectivity will produce a multiplying effect on cooperation among the parties involved. These 4 years have seen enhanced infrastructure connectivity. Building roads and railways creates prosperity in all sectors. We have accelerated the building of Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway, China-Laos Railway, Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway, and Hungary-Serbia Railway, and also upgraded Gwadar and Piraeus ports in cooperation with relevant countries. A large number of connectivity projects are also in the pipeline. Today, a multilateral, multidimensional infrastructure network is taking shape one that is underpinned by economic corridors such as China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, China-Mongolia-Russia Economic Corridor, and the new Eurasian Continental Bridge, featuring land, sea, air transportation routes and information expressway, and supported by major railway, port, and pipeline projects. These 4 years have seen increased trade connectivity. China has worked with other countries involved in the Belt and Road Initiative to promote trade and investment facilitation and improve business environment. I was told that for Kazakhstan and other Central Asian countries alone, customs clearance time for agricultural produce exporting to China is cut by 90%. Total trade between China and other Belt and Road countries between 2014 and 2016 has exceeded $3 trillion. And China's investment in these countries has surpassed $50 billion. Chinese companies have set up 56 economic cooperation zones in over 20 countries, generating some $1.1 billion of tax revenue and 180,000 jobs for those countries. These 4 years have seen expanded financial connectivity. Financing bottleneck is a key challenge to realizing connectivity. China has engaged in multiple forms of financial cooperation with countries and organizations involved in the Belt and Road Initiative. The Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank has provided $1.7 billion of loans for 9 projects in participating countries. The Silk Road Fund has made $4 billion of investment, and the 16+1 financial holding company between China and Central and Eastern European countries has been inaugurated. With distinctive focus, these new financial mechanisms and traditional multilateral financial institutions, such as the World Bank, complement each other. A multi-tiered Belt and Road financial cooperation network has taken an initial shape. These 4 years have seen strengthened people-to-people connectivity. Friendship, which derives from close contact between the people, holds the key to sound state-to-state relations. Guided by the Silk Road spirit, we, the Belt and Road Initiative participating countries, have pooled our efforts to build an educational Silk Road and health Silk Road, and carried out cooperation in science, education, culture, health, and people-to-people exchange. Such cooperation has helped lay a solid popular and social foundation for pursuing the Belt and Road Initiative. Every year, the Chinese government provides 10,000 government scholarships to relevant countries. China's local governments have also set up special Silk Road scholarships to encourage international cultural and educational exchanges. Projects of people-to-people cooperation such as Silk Road Culture Year, Tourism Year, Art Festival, Film and TV Project, Seminar, and Think Tank Dialogue are flourishing. These interactions have brought our people increasingly closer. These fruitful outcomes show that the Belt and Road Initiative responds to the trend of the times, conforms to the law of development, and meets the people's interests. It surely has broad prospects.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, As we often say in China, the beginning is the most difficult part. A solid first step has been taken in pursuing the Belt and Road Initiative. We should build on the sound momentum generated to steer the Belt and Road Initiative toward greater success. In pursuing this endeavor, we should be guided by the following principles. First, we should build the Belt and Road into a road for peace. The ancient Silk Routes thrived in times of peace, but lost vigor in times of war. The pursuit of the Belt and Road Initiative requires a peaceful and a stable environment. We should foster a new type of international relations featuring win-win cooperation. And we should forge partnership of dialogue with no confrontation and partnership of friendship rather than alliance. All countries should respect each other's sovereignty, dignity, and territorial integrity, respect each other's development path and social systems, and respect each other's core interests and major concerns. Some regions along the ancient Silk Road used to be a land of milk and honey. Yet today, these places are often associated with conflict, turbulence, crisis, and challenge. Such state affairs should not be allowed to continue. We should foster the vision of common, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security, and create a security environment built and shared by all. We should work to resolve hotspot issues through political means and promote mediation in the spirit of justice. We should intensify counterterrorism efforts, address both its symptoms and root causes, and strive to eradicate poverty, backwardness, and social injustice. Second, we should build the Belt and Road into a road of prosperity. Development holds the master key to solving all problems. In pursuing the Belt and Road Initiative, we should focus on the fundamental issue of development, release the growth potential of various countries, and achieve economic integration and interconnected development, and deliver benefits to all. Industries are the foundation of economy. We should deepen industrial cooperation so that industrial development plans of different countries will complement and reinforce each other. Focus should be put on launching major projects. We should strengthen international cooperation on production capacity and equipment manufacturing and seize new development opportunities presented by the new industrial revolution to foster new businesses and maintain dynamic growth. Finance is the lifeblood of modern economy. Only when the blood circulates smoothly can one grow. We should establish a stable and a sustainable financial safeguard system that keeps risks under control, create new models of investment and financing, encourage greater cooperation between government and private capital, and build a diversified financing system and a multi-tiered capital market. We should also develop inclusive finance and improve financial services networks. Infrastructure connectivity is the foundation of development through cooperation. We should promote land, maritime, air, and cyberspace connectivity. Concentrate our efforts on key passageways, cities, and projects, and connect networks of highways, railways, and seaports. The goal of building 6 major economic corridors under the Belt and Road Initiative has been set, and we should endeavor to meet it. We need to seize opportunities presented by the new round of change in energy mix and the revolution in energy technologies to develop global energy interconnection and achieve green and low-carbon development. We should improve trans-regional logistics network and promote connectivity of policies, rules, and standards so as to provide institutional safeguards for enhancing connectivity. Third, we should build the Belt and Road into a road of opening up. Opening up brings progress, while isolation results in backwardness. For a country, opening up is like the struggle of a chrysalis breaking free from its cocoon. There will be short-term pains, but such pains will create a new life. The Belt and Road Initiative should be a noble one that will achieve both economic growth and balanced development. We should build a noble platform of cooperation and uphold and grow a noble world economy. We should jointly create an environment that will facilitate opening up and development, establish a fair, equitable, and transparent system of international trade and investment rules, and boost the orderly flow of production factors, efficient resources allocation, and full market integration. We welcome efforts made by other countries to grow open economies based on their national conditions, participate in global governance, and provide public goods. Together, we can build a broad community of shared interests. Trade is an important engine driving growth. We should embrace the outside world with an open mind, uphold the multilateral trading regime, advance the building of free trade areas, and promote liberalization and the facilitation of trade and investment. Of course, we should also focus on resolving issues such as imbalances in development, difficulties in governance, digital divide, and income disparity. And we should make economic globalization open, inclusive, balanced, and beneficial to all. Fourth, we should build the Belt and Road into a road of innovation. Innovation is an important force in powering development. The Belt and Road Initiative is new by nature, and we need to encourage innovation in pursuing this initiative. We should pursue innovation-driven development and intensify cooperation in frontier areas such as digital economy, artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, and quantum computing, and advance the development of big data, cloud computing, and smart cities, so as to turn them into a digital Silk Road of the 21st century. We should spur the full integration of science and technology into industries and finance, improve the environment for innovation, and pool resources for innovation. We should create space and build workshops for young people of various countries to cultivate entrepreneurship in this age of the Internet and help realize their dreams. We should pursue the new vision of green development and promote a way of life and work that is green, low-carbon, circular, and sustainable. Efforts should be made to strengthen cooperation in ecological and environmental protection and build a sound ecosystem so as to realize the goals set by the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Fifth, we should build the Belt and Road into a road connecting different civilizations. In pursuing the Belt and Road Initiative, we should ensure that when it comes to different civilizations, exchange will replace estrangement, mutual learning will replace clashes, and coexistence will replace a sense of superiority. This will boost mutual understanding, mutual respect, and mutual trust among different countries. We should establish a multi-tiered mechanism for cultural and people-to-people exchanges, build more cooperation platforms, and open more cooperation channels. Educational cooperation should be boosted, more exchange students should be encouraged, and the performance of cooperatively run schools should be enhanced. Think tanks should play a better role, and efforts should be made to establish think tank networks and partnerships. In the cultural, sports, and health sectors, new cooperation models should be created to facilitate projects with concrete benefits. Historical and cultural heritage should be fully tapped to jointly develop tourist products and protect heritage in ways that preserve the distinctive features of the Silk Road. We should strengthen exchanges between parliaments, political parties, and non-governmental organizations of different countries, as well as between women, youth, and people with disabilities, with a view to achieving inclusive development. We should also strengthen international counter-corruption cooperation so that the Belt and Road will be a road with high ethical standards. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, China has reached a new starting point in its development endeavors, guided by the vision of innovative, coordinated, green, open and inclusive development. We will adapt to and steer the new normal of economic development and seize the opportunities it presents. We will actively promote supply-side structural reform to achieve sustainable development, inject strong impetus into the Belt and Road Initiative, and create new opportunities for global development. China will enhance friendship and cooperation with all countries involved in the Belt and Road Initiative on the basis of the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. We are ready to share experience of development with other countries. But we have no intention to interfere in other countries' internal affairs, export our own social system and model of development, or impose our own will on others. In pursuing the Belt and Road Initiative, we will not resort to outdated geopolitical maneuvering. What we hope to achieve is a new model of win-win cooperation. We have no intention to form a small group detrimental to stability. What we hope to create is a big family of harmonious coexistence. China has reached practical cooperation agreements with many countries on pursuing the Belt and Road Initiative. These agreements cover not only projects of hardware connectivity like transport, infrastructure, and energy, but also software connectivity involving telecommunications, customs, and quarantine inspection. The agreements also include plans and projects for cooperation in economy and trade, industry, e-commerce, marine and green economy. The Chinese railway authorities will sign agreements with their counterparts of related countries to deepen cooperation on China-Europe regular railway cargo service. We will work to launch these cooperation projects at an early date and see that they deliver early benefits. China will scale up financing support for the Belt and Road Initiative by contributing an additional 100 billion RMB to the Silk Road Fund. And we encourage financial institutions to conduct overseas RMB fund business with an estimated amount of about 300 billion RMB. The China Development Bank and the Export-Import Bank of China will set up special lending schemes respectively worth 250 billion RMB equivalent and 130 billion RMB equivalent to support Belt and Road cooperation on infrastructure, industrial capacity and financing. We will also work with the AIIB, the BRICS New Development Bank, the World Bank, and other multilateral development institutions to support Belt and Road related projects. We will work with other parties concerned to jointly formulate guidelines for financing the Belt and Road related development projects. China will endeavor to build a win-win business partnership with other countries participating in the Belt and Road Initiative, enhance trade and investment facilitation with them, and build a Belt and Road free trade network. These efforts are designed to promote growth both in our respective regions and globally. During the forum, China will sign business and trade cooperation agreements with over 30 countries and enter into consultation on free trade agreements with related countries. China will host the China International Import Expo starting from 2018. China will enhance cooperation on innovation with other countries. We will launch the Belt and Road Science, Technology and Innovation Cooperation Action Plan, which consists of the Science and Technology People-to-People Exchange Initiative, the Joint Laboratory Initiative, the Science Park Cooperation Initiative, and the Technology Transfer Initiative. In the coming 5 years, we will offer 2,500 short-term research visits to China for young foreign scientists, train 5,000 foreign scientists, engineers, and managers, and set up 50 joint laboratories. We will set up a big data service platform on ecological and environmental protection. We propose the establishment of an international coalition for green development on the Belt and Road, and we will provide support to related countries in adapting to climate change. In the coming 3 years, China will provide assistance worth 60 billion RMB to developing countries and international organizations participating in the Belt and Road Initiative to launch more projects to improve people's well-being. We will provide emergency food aid worth 2 billion RMB to developing countries along the Belt and Road, and make an additional contribution of $1 billion to the Assistance Fund for South-South Cooperation. China will launch 100 Happy Home projects, 100 poverty alleviation projects, and 100 healthcare and rehabilitation projects in countries along the Belt and Road. China will provide relevant international organizations with $1 billion to implement cooperation projects that will benefit the countries along the Belt and Road. China will put in place the following mechanisms to boost Belt and Road cooperation: the liaison office for the forum's follow-up activities, the research center for the Belt and Road financial and economic development, the facilitating center for building the Belt and Road, the Multilateral Development Financial Cooperation Center in cooperation with multilateral development banks, and an IMF China capacity building center. We will also develop a network for cooperation among the NGOs in countries along the Belt and Road, as well as new people-to-people exchange platforms such as a Belt and Road News Alliance and a Music Education Alliance. The Belt and Road initiative is rooted in the ancient Silk Road. It focuses on the Asian, European, and African continents, but it is also open to all other countries. All countries from either Asia, Europe, Africa, or the Americas. They are all international cooperation partners of the Belt and Road Initiative. The pursuit of this initiative is based on extensive consultation, and its benefits will be shared by us all. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, an ancient Chinese saying goes, "A long journey can be covered only by taking one step at a time." Similarly, there is an Arab proverb which says that the pyramid was built by piling one stone on another. In Europe, there's also the saying that Rome wasn't built in a day. The Belt and Road Initiative is a great undertaking which requires dedicated efforts. Let us pursue this initiative step by step and deliver outcome one by one. By doing so, we will bring true benefit to both the world and all our people. In conclusion, I wish the Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation a full success. Thank you. Thank you, President Xi Jinping, for the keynote speech. Just now, President Xi Jinping expounded on the essence of the Silk Road spirit and illustrated the importance of the Belt and Road Initiative in the context of global challenges. While taking stock of the outcomes of cooperation already delivered, he put forward important proposals and suggestions on expanding and upgrading cooperation for even bigger progress. These important opinions will be instrumental in promoting international cooperation on Belt and Road. Next, let's warmly welcome President Putin of Russia to deliver a speech.
Thank
主
President Xi, heads of states, governments, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me to participate in the opening ceremony of the One Belt, One Road International Forum. Mr. Xi informed me about his plans to hold this representative event back in September last year at the Russian-Chinese summit in Hangzhou, and we certainly lend our support to this enterprise from the very beginning. This idea had been brought up even before that. Certainly, this gives us an opportunity to talk in a broad format about the future of the vast Eurasian continent. Our continent is the birthplace of great civilizations. Peoples with different cultures and traditions have lived side by side for centuries. They've been trading, whereas the legendary Silk Road, which linked almost all of Eurasia, as is well known, went from one oasis to another oasis, from one world to another. And in the great Chinese I Ching, the book of change with its colorful, bright imagery, the well symbolizes a spring of life force underlying human communication. It gives birth to trust, fosters ties and connections, as well as friendship. This historical experience of cooperation as well as human understanding is of import to us in the 21st century, when the world is faced with very serious challenges and problems. Many models and factors of economic growth of old have been all but exhausted. Many countries are witnessing a crisis of the social welfare state concept which emerged in the 20th century. As of now, it is barely capable of maintaining at the same level the welfare, let alone ensuring a sustainable growth of welfare. It is apparent that the global economic and technological space risks being fragmented, protectionism is becoming the new normal, whereas its latent manifestations take the form of illegal sanctions, including restrictions on the spread and supply of technologies. The ideas of openness and free trade are increasingly often being rejected, very often by those who but recently served as the exponents of these ideas. The imbalances in the social and economic development, the crisis of the old model of globalization, all of this results in negative consequences for relations among states as well as for international security, poverty, social chaos, a colossal gap and the developmental level of countries and regions. All this creates a breeding ground for international terrorism, extremism, as well as irregular migration. We shall not be able to live up to these challenges should we fail to overcome a stagnation of the global economic development, nor should we forget about the threats that emanate from regional conflicts, from the confrontation zones that persist in many places throughout Eurasia. In order to untie these knots, as it were, first and foremost, it is necessary to abandon the belligerent rhetoric, mutual recriminations and reproaches, which serve only to aggravate the situation. On the whole, it is hardly possible to resolve any of the issues of today following the old logic. What we need is ideas that are fresh and free of stereotypes. I am confident that Eurasia is able to elaborate, come up with a substantive positive agenda. I refer in particular to ensuring security, building ties between countries, organizing the economy, the social sphere, the governance system. I refer to finding new engines of growth. We should demonstrate to the world community an example of using an innovative approach to building future based on equality, equal rights, justice, respect for national sovereignty, international right, as well as the inviolable principles of the United Nations. And yet, to implement such an agenda, wish and will alone are not sufficient. What we need is actual instruments of such cooperation, and it is as a form of integration that we can build these instruments. Eurasia is witnessing the active development of many integration associations. We support them, and we are interested in the successful advancement of these projects. Many are aware that Russia, together with its partners, is building the Eurasian Economic Union. We, in the Eurasian Economic Union, have similar approaches to building the Eurasian integration, and it is very important for us that the leaders of Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan take part in this forum. We salute China's large-scale initiative of One Belt, One Road, and putting this initiative forward. President Xi has demonstrated an example of an innovative approach to developing integration in energy, infrastructure, transport, industry, as well as the humanitarian field, which we have heard in detail right now. I believe that adding up the potential such integration formats as the Eurasian Economic Union, One Belt, One Road, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, ASEAN, can lay the groundwork for building a greater Eurasian partnership. It is exactly this approach that we believe we can view the agenda put forward by the Chinese People's Republic of China today. We would also salute the participation of our European colleagues in such a partnership, the European Union. In this case, it would turn into a harmonic, balanced and comprehensive partnership, will help us seize the unique opportunity of building a single space of cooperation from the Atlantic to the Pacific for the first time in history. Colleagues, even now, it is important to add concrete actions to the strategy for developing the greater Eurasian partnership. We can, for instance, set forth the ambitious goals of making the movement of goods in the Eurasian space very fast. Right now, President Xi has been telling us about slashing the bureaucracy and the movement of goods between Kazakhstan and China. We see the same thing happening in different dimensions. Certainly, if administrative costs are brought down, if logistics technologies are cutting edge, it is going to facilitate our work. We can also use the experience of the WTO, which is very precious and valuable. Let me remind you that in February 2017, the WTO trade facilitation agreement entered into force. We should certainly build upon the provisions of this agreement and even draft an even more advanced Eurasian agreement on trade facilitation. Let me highlight that Russia is not just willing to trade, we're willing to invest into building in our partners joint ventures as well as new enterprises. We're willing to invest into industrial assembly, into retail and maintenance services. It is important that our entrepreneurs should earn together, should succeed together, should set up competitive technological and industrial alliances together. But in order for this cooperation to be efficient, we should move towards unifying and, in future, towards building up uniform standards as well as technical regulations, both for traditional, industrial and agricultural goods and new high-technology produce. We should also remove infrastructural obstacles in the way of integration. We should build up the systems of modern transportation corridors that are linked together. Given Russia's unique geographical position, we are willing to engage in such kinds of work. We are consistently modernizing our sea, railway and automobile infrastructure. We increase the transport capacity of the Baikal, Amur and the Trans-Siberian railroads, as well as invest considerable resources into the Northern Sea route in order to turn it into a globally competitive transportation corridor. If we have a look at the broader picture, the infrastructural projects announced as part of the Eurasian Economic Union, as well as the One Belt, One Road initiatives, together with the Northern Sea Route, are able to set up a new transportation configuration of the Eurasian continent. And this is key to explore new territories, to resuscitate economic and investment activities. Let us build these roads of prosperity and development together in order to implement the large-scale projects in infrastructure, in energy and transport and cutting-edge high technology. We shall certainly require enormous private investment. That is why it is important to put in place predictable, convenient, comfortable and well understood conditions for investors to foster an exchange of best practices. For instance, we have been using the experience of the Asia-Pacific countries and setting up preferential conditions for investors and the advanced development territories in the Russian Far East. And the private investor is also going to benefit from the newly established institutions such as the New Development Bank of BRICS and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Certainly, high-quality integration is only possible if we have such a groundwork as the good human capital, well-qualified personnel, technological and scientific basis. In order to have this groundwork, we suggest we should work together in educational platforms and strengthening the cooperation of universities and business schools. I would like to invite our partners to get back to work together in fundamental science. I refer in particular to the possibility of building large-scale international research facilities and laboratories for joint use. Colleagues, it is evident that the ideas and the initiatives of this forum's participants shall require further discussion. And we certainly are willing to participate in this kind of discussions. Let me invite the participants, the representatives of the business circles, the civil society, politicians, to visit Russia in June this year as part of the St. Petersburg Economic Forum, and to visit Russia in September as well to assist the Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok. In conclusion, let me highlight, Russia believes that the future of Eurasian partnership is not just about fostering new ties between countries and economies. It should change the very political and economic landscape of the continent, bringing Eurasia peace, stability, prosperity, as well as a brand new quality of life. Our citizens require well-understood things such as security, being able to be confident of the day to come, the possibility to work and to increase their welfare, the welfare of their families. And we owe it to them to secure these opportunities for them. And in these terms, Greater Eurasia is not just an abstract geopolitical scheme. Without exaggeration, it is indeed a civilizational project which is bringing about future, and I'm confident that following the logic of cooperation we shall implement it. I believe there are grounds to thank President Xi for this initiative, which is very timely and which is very promising. Thank you for attention, and let me wish success to all of you in our joint efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, President Putin, for the speech. President Putin has introduced the views and measures of Russia in promoting regional and global economy, and also put forward very useful suggestions on promoting international cooperation on Belt and Road, and all these ideas can be further explored. and discussed. Now let's warmly welcome President of Turkey, Erdogan, to deliver a speech.
Sayın Başkan Xi,
Esteemed President Xi, distinguished heads of states and governments, esteemed participants, I greet you all with love and respect. I would like to thank my valuable friend Xi and Chinese authorities for hosting such an important event and for their hospitality. I would like to thank you all on behalf of all citizens of Turkey. I believe that this initiative, also referred to as the New Silk Road, will leave its mark on the future with its objective of connecting Asia, Europe, Africa, and even South America to one another. Increasing infrastructure plans and technical standards of the countries on the Belt and Road route will contribute to the further development of land, maritime, and airway corridors at the intercontinental level. The success of the project is dependent upon trade facilitation, collaboration in the fields of customs, lifting non-tariff barriers, and promotion of investments by the countries on the road. In addition to the Silk Road Fund, inclusion of sovereign funds by the countries on the route will further deepen the financial integration of the project. Moreover, encouraging intergovernmental cooperation will allow for a stronger climate of solidarity. Extensive cooperation in the spheres of tourism, science, technology, and media will further increase student and staff exchange and serve the purpose of meeting objectives. The New Silk Road initiative that covers more than 60 countries around the globe, around 40 million square kilometers and 4.5 billion of global population, is truly a very important project. Therefore, it's imperative that this initiative is based upon a win-win approach for the countries that will benefit from bilateral, multilateral, and regional collaborations. Establishment of a system that is coherent in the spheres of politics and economy will pave the way for a new era in the region based on stability and prosperity. According to projections, Asia, as a fast-developing region, will require around $1.7 trillion of investment until 2030 every year for growth, fighting against poverty, and taking relevant measures against climate change. Such extensive work requires collaboration rather than competition. As one of its founders, Turkey and Turkey's contribution of capital to the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank is $2.6 billion and holds a voting right of 2.48%. Our objective is to make real the mechanisms, actually the common financing mechanisms, to be able to take the development steps that we all need. Esteemed heads of states and governments, distinguished participants, We're living in an era in which economic and trade relations between Asia and Europe develop fast and deepen. The center of gravity of a world economy is shifting fast to the east with a speed of 60 kilometers for some or 120 kilometers for others. The fact that the trade volume between Europe and China has already reached $600 billion US, and it confirms all of the things that I've said. Turkey is located at the crossroads of Asia and Europe and is one of the leading countries on the Silk Road route with its unique geographical location. China's Silk Road Economic Corridor initiative integrates well with Turkey's Middle Corridor project that aims to connect Europe to Central Asia and to China through Anatolia. As you know, the Common Corridor is a trade route project that starts from Turkey, passing through Georgia, Azerbaijan, the Caspian Sea, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, and finishes in China. Therefore, we would like to work together with China and other countries on the route. The MOU that we signed during the G20 summit in Antalya, together with China in 2015, was an important step taken for bilateral cooperation between countries. We would like the Middle Corridor project to be one of the main and complementary elements of the Belt and Road Initiative. And we have made progress to this end through various projects implemented in Turkey and the region. The Baku-Tbilisi-Kars railway project will start to operate within a few months, and this will mark the completion of an important part of the project of the Common Corridor. The Caravanserai project developed for customs cooperation aims to ensure a speedy flow of trade and services. The Marmaray project that connects Asia and Europe from under the sea, the Yavuz Sultan Selim Bridge that became operational on 26 August 2016, the Eurasia Tunnel that started to operate on 20 December 2016, the new airport currently under construction in Istanbul, and the Dardanelles Bridge, the construction of which recently started, are very important steps. The Zonguldak, Filyos, İzmir, Çandarlı, and Mersin ports are currently being constructed, and these are the important projects that are part of the maritime part of this project. The Edirne-Kars high-speed railway project that covers Turkey from one end to the other is another important project. We will be very happy to materialize this project, this historic project, with our Chinese counterparts, with our Chinese friends, distinguished heads of states and governments, distinguished participants. I believe that there is a win-win project ahead of us that will serve peace and stability. And this means that this will mean the establishment of a new system that is interconnected in the spheres of economy, politics, and culture. This project will contribute to sustainable growth and development and will result in increase in the life standards of our citizens. So this will be the joint success of all. I believe that this cooperation model, which will provide benefits for all, will prove to be successful. And this is going to be the kind of an initiative that will put an end to terrorism. This cooperation as a model will be beneficial for all. And as Turkey, we are happy to give all kinds of support. As I end my words, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to my friend Xi and the friends for this successful forum. I extend my love and respect to one of you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, President Erdogan, for that speech. Turkey is an important country along the ancient Silk Road and also an important participant in the international cooperation on the pursuit of the Belt and Road Initiative. I trust that through the concerted efforts of all the parties, including Turkey, the international cooperation on Belt and Road Initiative will continue to score new progress. Now let's warmly welcome Secretary General of the United Nations, Guterres, to deliver a speech.
Your Excellency, President Xi Jinping, President of the People's Republic of China, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I feel very grateful and very honored for the opportunity to address all of you at this forum. The world today is at a critical juncture. We face both unprecedented challenges and unique opportunities, with the potential for widely contrasting futures. There is indeed a high level of unpredictability. But in recent decades, the world has made remarkable progress in human development. The proportion of people living in extreme poverty has dropped dramatically. China alone has lifted more than 600 million people out of poverty. Billions of people gained access to drinking water. Millions more are in school. And thanks to major inroads against malaria, tuberculosis and other deadly diseases, the average people are living longer, healthier lives. Technological innovations have stitched the world together in new webs of commerce, contact, and common endeavor. We also know that millions of people are being left behind. The tide of globalization has yet to lift all boats. For too many, the path to prosperity has proven elusive. Inequalities within and between countries are causing social tensions and sometimes conflict. The planet's ecosystems are degrading at an alarming rate. Climate change became a serious danger. The inability to resolve old conflicts or prevent new ones has caused immense suffering. Terrorism and fragility are on the rise, and trust is on the decline. Trust in governments, in globalization, and in the values that hold us together. Our challenge is to revitalize international cooperation for the common good and build lives of peace and dignity for all. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in human history, the world has at its disposal sufficient resources and advanced technologies to end extreme poverty, to reduce inequalities, and place the planet on a sustainable trajectory. We also have inspiring new strategies agreed by all 2 years ago. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, the Paris Agreement on Climate Change, and the Addis Ababa Action Agenda on Financing for Development. Bringing these plans to life requires wide-ranging action, investment, and leadership. And in this context, the Belt and Road Initiative has immense potential. running through Asia, Europe and Africa, and extended to the whole world, it is far-reaching in geography and in ambition. For countries yearning to become more integrated with the global economy, it can promote effective access to markets and new opportunities. And while the Belt and Road Initiative and the 2030 Agenda are different in their nature and scope, both have sustainable development at the overarching objective. Both strive to create opportunities, global public goods, and win-win cooperation. And both aim to deepen connectivity across countries and regions, connectivity in infrastructure, trade, finance, policies, and perhaps most important for all, among peoples. In order for the participating countries along the Belt and Road to fully benefit from the potential of enhanced connectivity, it is crucial to strengthen the links between the initiative and the Sustainable Development Goals. Those 17 goals can guide the policies and actions under the Belt and Road towards true sustainable development. And as projects under the initiative unfold, let us work together to uphold relevant international environmental and social standards and to ensure that the benefits reach beyond cities into rural areas. With the initiative expected to generate vast investments in infrastructure, let us seize the momentum to help countries make the transition to clean energy, low-carbon pathways, instead of locking in unsustainable practices for decades to come. Chinese leadership on climate change will continue to be pivotal. And as the Belt and Road attracts public and private funding, let us recognize that countries will still need official development assistance. And I urge donors to fulfill their long-standing commitments, namely in the context of Addis Ababa Agreement. And just as the initiative opens new corridors for goods, let us also keep open the channels for dialogue, so that any possible tensions among the countries touched by this undertaking can give way to mutual benefit. The Belt and Road Initiative is rooted in a shared vision for global development. And indeed, China became a central pillar of multilateralism. China played a key role in shaping the 2030 Agenda and in making possible the adoption of the Paris Agreement, two of the past decades' signal achievements in international diplomacy. And China has also launched several major initiatives, from the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank to its increased support in United Nations peacekeeping, and to a combination of new funds aiming at fostering both peace and prosperity. The wide-ranging engagement of China is more necessary than ever today. Our world is multipolar, but that by itself is no guarantee of prosperity and peace. A multipolar world needs multilateral cooperation and multilateral governance to face common threats and to seize shared opportunities. The Belt and Road Initiative has clear echoes of the ancient Silk Road. Today, we must take that spirit to new heights for the benefit of all. As the Chinese saying goes, building the road is the first step towards prosperity. The United Nations system stands ready to travel this road, and you, in order to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals and to fulfill our promise to leave no one behind. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary General Guterres, for that speech. The building of the Belt and Road will be conducive to the implementation of the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. We look to the United Nations to continue to support and participate in the international cooperation on the Belt and Road Initiative. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, after the opening ceremony, we will have the plenary session of the high-level dialogue to be followed by the thematic sessions in the afternoon. I hope the participants will seize the opportunity to exchange ideas, build consensus, promote cooperation, and work together to bring about an even brighter future in the building of the Belt and Road Initiative. But that brings us to the end of the opening ceremony. Thank you.